What were your impressions of the way Usyk handled Joshua? Were you impressed at all with how he took care of it?
I don't rate Usyk at all, to be honest. I don't rate AJ, never have. He's a blown-up bodybuilder who can't box. We all know that. And Usyk, I don't rate him either. He's a pumped-up middleweight. And he's had a few fights at heavyweight, and all of a sudden people think he's some legendary heavyweight champion. Who's he fought? He fought Tim Witherspoon's son, Chaz Witherspoon, who'd been out the ring for 5 years, and he gave him a tough fight, yeah. Then he fought old journeyman Derek Chisora, who's had 13 losses in a row, and I thought Chisora beat him, and then he's beat the bodybuilder twice. So is that the greatest resume in boxing history? I don't think so. There's only one man in the heavyweight division, and you're looking at him. I'm the Dauntless in the Waters. I've knocked out the biggest puncher in boxing history. I've beat the longest reigning champion in history. I am the man, and I can't be beat. That's why I'm unbeaten in I don't know how many years. I've lost count. 14-year career, I think it is.
And money aside, because there is a lot of talk of money, obviously, but
yeah.
With that, what you just said, what would it mean to you to take home all the belts?
It won't mean nothing. Not interested. I've had every single belt. I've had more belts. I've got more belts at home in my house than Gucci and Louis Vuitton have in their corporate combined. Don't forget I'm the most belted champion there's ever been in history. I'm the only person to win every belt that there is in history of our sport. Only heavyweight champion. Because when Lennox Lewis was champion, there was only 3 belts. Now, there's WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine. There's 6, and I've got every one of them. But I have just vacated the Ring Magazine so they can fight for them. And you know why? So I could become a 3-time world heavyweight champion with the Ring Magazine and join Muhammad Ali, the only other person to do it. There's already been 2 champions, 2-time Ring Magazine champions before, but only one other 3rd time. So that's why I vacated. That's how confident I am in beating Usyk. I don't rate him. Pound for pound, all the doesn't exist. I'll rate the guy, put that fish right through him when I fight him. And that's the God's honest truth. If I don't take him out inside 6 rounds, I'll be disappointed. I class it like a loss. That's what I'll do to Usyk. On these shores, I'm the best to ever do it. I'm the best heavyweight that's ever lived. None of my heavyweights from before, in this world or any other world, could ever have beaten Tyson Fury. Too small. And when I fight Usyk, I'll have proved to you what a big man does to a midget. It'll be fish right through him, and I promise you all that. I hope he just takes the fight, because from what I'm hearing, Usyk don't want no smoke with a big daddy. So I don't see how it's going to be a good fight. I think it's a mismatch. It's a one-sided as my Land Rover outside having a 4-wheel driving contest with a Ferrari. It's a one-sided match. It's not even close. So all these people who say, "No, this is going to be the greatest fight since Muhammad Ali fought Ken Norton." I've already done my acid test with Wilder. He was 42-0, and I was unbeaten in 30 fights. That was the biggest fight of the century. Not me versus some middleweight who's had 3 heavyweight fights.
Well, you're both great personalities at least. And
no, he's not a personality. He's a joker. He's an idiot. He's a copycat. Hey, Derek. That's not personality. You know, we'll see. Proof's in the pudding. The way I see it is, if I can't beat Usyk, never was any good, no right to call myself the greatest of all times, and was always... There's the pressure cooker for you. That's how confident I am of beating this man. No problem. No doubt. Destroy! Seek and destroy! HMS don't give a for any man born from his mother. Yeah!
Thank you very much.
That personality! Derek! I've come for you, Derek!
Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury as we heard him go off on AJ and especially Usyk today. Bars. Listen, Tyson Fury, again, he is a guy that he is doing his due diligence. He is talking up a fight. And matter of fact, he's talking up fights, not talking up one fight. He's talking up both fights. You know the offer for AJ. But this was geared towards Oleksandr Usyk, the current unified heavyweight champion of the world right now. And he charged him up and he charged him. He said he had no personality. He called the man a midget. He said he don't want no smoke with the big daddy. He said a lot of things about Oleksandr Usyk that, like, you know, I'm going to put my fist right through him if it don't last. But if it goes past 6 rounds, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to view it as a loss. Wow. Listen, all I can say about that is from Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, This guy has some confidence. Absolutely. He has some confidence. He has to have confidence to say those type of words about both fights that he has lined up. But like I told you guys on my live yesterday, which I have a live coming real soon, probably at 12 o'clock my time. Okay. Depends on how I get my videos out today, because I have to have other content besides the Tyson, Anthony, Joshua, and Usyk show. Okay. But this guy, he's really, like I told you, if he fights AJ, then Usyk, so that means AJ, Usyk, Vlad, Wilder, White. Those 5 guys define your legacy right there. You can add Chisora on because Chisora was undefeated. See, then you start tacking on the outskirts. But you gotta take over the central city first. Then the central city is Usyk and AJ. He took out Wilder already. And Vladimir was a long time ago, but he's gone too. So Tyson Fury, man, he's making some promises. In fact, speaking of promises, he mentioned Ali. He wants to be parallel with Ali. He kind of talks like Ali. He kind of walks similar to Ali. The things that he does, the challenges and all this, that, and the other. I think Ali had far more challenges in the time frame and what was going on at the time, mind you. But he does mirror himself after Ali because Mayweather, he wants to be like Mayweather, and Mayweather took it and stole it from Ali. So therefore, if you see the mannerisms, like if I can't beat that bum, if I can't take him out in 6 rounds, I will retire and I'm not who I say I was. Those things is exactly what Muhammad Ali did and he preached after he knocked out George Foreman in Zaire, 1974. Yes, he did. He did that. And then he told him, I told him he couldn't hit. I told him he swang like a sissy. I told you that I was the greatest. I told you I was the greatest. I was the best. Did he hurt me? Did he hurt me? He didn't hurt me, did he? Man, I tell you, it was great. But that is exactly what sparked in my mind when I seen Tyson Fury point that finger of determination, that finger of confrontation. I think Tyson Fury is a guy that he is an anomaly. He is an anomaly until he gets beat. But I think, and here's the one thing I want to see. I want to see Tyson Fury get beat. Not because I question his greatness. It's though greatness is determined by the things you have to go through. Maybe his things he had to go through was mental illness, was like in his own head. Maybe the only person can beat Tyson Fury is himself. I don't know. But it would be good to know if Tyson Fury could beat and could he come back from that. Not that I'm hating on the man or nothing like that. It's just everyone else that went through that type of thing and what type of fighter were they? Is he a Jeff Lacey or is he really a Muhammad Ali? Is he that guy that said he's who he is? He's still determined after he takes an L? Because a lot of people, they do go through certain things. That's why certain fights don't happen. You know what I mean? So it does really question where they're at mentally, where they're at spiritually. It questions a lot of things where they're truly at, because that's when you go through some type of trial and tribulation in your life and in your career, because your career is actually your life, right? So, and nobody really goes through it until you go through some tough times, and then you will actually have revival. Okay, so, Tyson Fury saying all this about Oleksandr Usyk and promising this and promising that, that means that, that he intends on fighting Oleksandr Usyk, and it will be next year because Anthony Joshua, I think, filled the slot. But to be fair, here's the counterpunch, people. To be fair, Tyson Fury's talking about Anthony Joshua's a blown-up middleweight. He did the same thing to Deontay Wilder and questioned who Deontay Wilder fight, just like he did Oleksandr Usyk. And he was like, well, you know what? Who did Wilder fight? He fought a football player. He fought a 40-year-old. He fought, a few other 38 bums. You know what I mean? And then he beat him. Now he's the greatest puncher in boxing history. You see what I mean? So I don't understand the reference of you breaking your fighter down. The whole idea is to build your fighter up. But it makes it look bad since he's taken a fight with Anthony Joshua in the 2 losses back to back. So, to me, it seems like you're trying to take the weakest link first. You know what I mean? But then again, I still want to see the fight because I still want to see what Joshua can do with Tyson Fury and vice versa. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury going off on Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.